Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Real Estate and Murder. This is one of your podcast hosts, Sarah Brager. Unfortunately, today I am missing my co-host, Amy. She is sick, and unfortunately, we are in the coldest winter months here in Utah. So there's definitely something going around, and she just feels horrible. So she is resting up, but we decided we still wanted to put some content out and make sure that we're staying in touch with our audience. So you get just me today. And we figured we would just do a brief summary of the Utah real estate market that you guys can kind of get an idea of what Amy and I are working with here in our hyper-local market. And then after that, I'm going to give you a little bit of a teaser of a crime story that Amy and I are watching closely and we're working on. So to kick off with our market statistics, just to give you guys an idea of the criteria that I searched for, I went ahead and used the whole state of Utah in these statistics. So instead of narrowing it down to particular counties like Utah County or Salt Lake County, where Amy and I do the bulk of our business, I wanted to just give you statistics across the state in case we've got listeners down south or way up north. And the reason why I did that was really so that we can have a good snapshot of everything that's going on. But I did narrow it down to just single family homes, townhomes, twin homes, and I capped it off at duplexes. So a duplex is going to be a building or a dwelling that has two individual units inside of it. And they have to be completely separate units, private living for both parties. Oftentimes, the owner of the property will live in one of the units and rent the other ones out. Sometimes both of them are rented out. So they're good investment properties, but I wanted to cap it at duplexes because once you get into larger properties, you're looking at really investment only. And I'm talking about fourplexes with 4 or more units. Multi-level family or multi-level units are what those are called. You can get into 8, 12 units. And then we're just talking investment properties, which are a completely different category and really on a different scale. So I wanted to give you the information really related to individual homes or units that first-time home buyers, young families, maybe people that are retiring and looking to downsize would primarily be looking for. So all in all, we've got our Utah market here. Like I said, Amy and I do the bulk of our business in Utah County and Salt Lake County. And that really is because, a lot of our SOI, as we call it in real estate, or our sphere of influence, so our network, our family, our friends, the marketing that we do that touches our local markets, they're going to be in Utah County, Salt Lake County, up into Davis and Weber County, which are the two counties north of Salt Lake. And then the counties south of Salt Lake, which would include Utah County, but also Sanpete County and Juab County. And I have actually been in both of those counties quite a bit lately, working with some clientele out there. So I wanted to include all of that. But this gives you a general idea of where we're at. As of January 2025, these are the market statistics that were compiled from last month because we're in mid-February right now. I am pulling these statistics straight from utahrealestate.com, which as a consumer, you can see on your side. It shows listings. You can reach agents and find contact information through that site. But as a licensed agent, we have a whole backside and a different access to the MLS or the multiple listing service, which is connected to utahrealestate.com. And this is where we find our statistics. We market our listings to other agents and each other, to brokers. And of course, all of the data for all the real estate transactions that we do is stored here. So that's where I'm pulling this information from. As of January 2025, we had 4,301 new listings. So a new listing would be a listing that a real estate agent posted in January of 2025. Now that adds to our total of already active listings at 9,129. Keep in mind that this is for the state of Utah and that there are 4,300 new ones for a total of 9,129 active listings. Carrying on, we have 4,061 properties that are under contract. So just under half of the overall active listings are now under contract. They're separate categories, just to be clear, but I'm just giving you a kind of a scale of where these numbers are at. As of January 2025, we have 2,115 sold listings. So those would be listings that closed and settled in the month of January. And our average days on market is 68 days. Now, just to give you a little bit of context, you have to remember that for days on market, we're looking at properties that could be anything from a new construction property that still has 2 or 3 months before it's finished to a starter home like a condo that might sell quickly because it's at an entry level price. So your days on market is average of 68 days. You have to consider that that's the median for both the high count and the low count. So that's a little bit of a snapshot of what's going on here in Utah. 2,115 homes being sold and settled in the month of January is a number I'm not completely surprised by. Seasonally in Utah, the real estate sales tend to slow down over the holidays by nature, right? We've got freezing cold weather. We've got ice. This year, we've had a lot of rain. And over the holiday time, whatever holiday you're celebrating, there's a lot of family time. People tend to settle in, kind of hunker down for the winter. And then comes January where we pick up new year, new life. Everybody's excited about their goals and taxes are being filed. And that's where a lot of clientele that I work with start to kind of wake up, shake the winter off, and they're going to start looking at what to do with their money and their investments that year. So January, we had what I would consider to be a slower month in terms of closings. But as we head into the spring, this is a great time for both buyers and sellers to get active in the market because we're going to start to have a great balance between the two. So there's your market statistics for Utah for what's going on actively right now. And since we were talking about Utah today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a case that we have going on in Utah right now. So I'm going to give you a little taste of this case. Amy and I have been watching it very closely, like too closely probably. And we really want to share this whole story with our audience. But our realtor is on trial right now. So you might be guessing what case I'm talking about already. And this would be the case of Corey Richins. She's been in the news quite a bit, and I'll fill you in on why. But Corey Richins is a real estate agent from Utah. Not only that, but she's originally from Utah. She was born and raised here. She was born in small town Utah in a slightly rural city, Summit County and those surrounding areas. If you're familiar with what I'm talking about, these are the counties east of Salt Lake, kind of as you're headed out of Utah and into Wyoming, up that way. And if you're going that direction into the area that Corey Richins is from, you're going to pass the infamous Park City area. You're going to get into Colville and other small towns that are up that way. So that's where she is from. Now, Corey Richins is currently on trial. Like I said, she is accused of murdering her husband, Eric Richins, on March 4th, 2022. So we're coming up on about 3 years of the anniversary of his death. And this case has gone absolutely everywhere you can possibly imagine. There's been a lot of news updates that we've got about her trial, everything from continuance, delays, change of legal counsel. There's kind of been a lot of stuff going around that has sort of made this process longer, although sometimes these trials go for a really, really long time. But that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So I'm not going to give you too much detail, but in 2019, Corey established her real estate business. She's a licensed agent. She names her business K. Richins Realty, LLC. And her primary focus was purchasing homes, fixing them up, remodeling them, making them aesthetically beautiful, upgrading, and then selling them for a profit. So this is probably what you would be familiar with the term flipping a house. It became really popular and trendy to do for a long time. We saw a lot of investors, agents, and just consumers investing in that space. And so you could call her a home flipper. Her husband, Eric, helped and supported in the business. I don't know that he did it full time, but he was definitely present in it. And Corey, at the time of Eric's death, was working on one of her biggest projects ever. And you will get all of those details when we actually cover her case. So 2019, she's now starting this new career. She's really getting into it, loves what she's doing with these properties. But then come 2022, and husband Eric Richins dies. In the process of grieving with her family, Corey has 3 young boys, beautiful, sweet young boys. And not only is Corey a mother, a real estate agent, but Corey is also a published author. So she authored a children's book titled Are You With Me? And this book she wrote to help her three sons cope with their father's death. She found a lot of success with this book. She was praised in the public and in the media and on social media and just in the community in general for this book and for the tough subject that it addressed, for the important message that it passed along to kids and to families. You know, grief is a tough subject to explain and understand, as is death in general, but especially sudden death. And so for young kids, this book was meant to really help them understand and grapple with a very adult subject. So she actually toured even locally and was seen on TV shows. She promoted her book all the way up until the day she was arrested in May of 2023 for Eric's murder. So now the public is wondering, did she write her book for her children about grieving the death of their father after she murdered him? So stay tuned for the full story. We're going to wait until the trial at least is progressed further, ideally has been done and is finished being tried, to cover it so that we can give you all of the information from start to finish. But drop your thoughts in the comments on any of our social media pages, on our YouTube, or send us an email. If you jump on our website, you can leave us a comment or chat with us. You can ask me anything about this episode, from the market statistics that I gave you about Utah all the way to this case. Let us know. Again, it's kind of a hot topic right now, at least definitely in Utah. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. And that wraps it up for everything I'm going to leave you with today. So that's all for now. We will talk to you soon. And just remember, always lock your doors.